is codified, and on the basis of that, the people are governed. So rule of law is essentially governance by laws.
The essence to the nation is that no nation likes to find himself in an unlawful, being in an unlawful situation where citizens are not governed very well, are not observing the rules and regulations. That may not be good to such country.
Establishing the ramifications of the rule of law, experts x-ray the citizenship role towards national development.
The Constitution in the Section 24, in 1999 Constitution as amended, actually spells out the duties of citizens. The first among it there is that the citizens have a right to choose and elect who the representatives will be through an election. We also have a right to participate in an election. We have a right and responsibility to ensure that we vote in the right people. And what this means entirely is that we also have the ultimate right to respect the dignity of the other citizens of the country, because where my right ends as a citizen, another person's right continues. And it's expected from us too that we should make positive contribution to community development through the advancement and well-being of our communities.
The duties of the people would include having to uphold the Nigerian state, having to declare their income properly and pay necessary taxes, having to protect our infrastructure, having to respect the rights of other citizens. All these are duties expected of the people.
Freedom, the rights given to citizens, the expressions. What is happening for my resources? And to support that, there is freedom of information. We are citizens of corruption, danger, anything that is the country, the session of individual, family. So these are rights that our people must take advantage of.
We shouldn't sit at home and point at government, because the government is you and I. Every individual has leadership role to play. So we need to begin to look at what level do we need to play our roles, whether as followers, as leaders.
The country's coexistence is being threatened by the danger the insurgency now poses. It is a situation which has sent thousands of lives to their untimely graves, while lots of property that could have helped in the socio-economic upliftment of the nation have gone to waste. Analysts say this could have been prevented initially only if Nigerians had played their crime reporting role effectively.
We owe the state a responsibility to cooperate with the security agencies. Somebody will say in Nigeria, life is cheap, they kill anyhow. But most of us hide criminals. Not intentionally, but when you see something going on, they say those ways we call the police here. You see some communities will even come and sit down and put a law that nobody should invite the police in the community or call the police for his body. So we are not yet seeing the society as part of us.
And therefore, every individual has to be vigilant. As I mentioned, as we already know, the arms caches that were found in Kano, the security agencies got a take from citizens. So security is every person's business. We can't leave it to the security agencies alone. Otherwise, they can't do the job. At the end of the day, they are also there they're putting their lives in the line of duty for us.
However, analysts say commitment is of two-way, and fulfillment or otherwise by one side could affect the other, thereby justifying the positions held by the likes of Zanna.
While there is that obligation on the government, on the people to discharge certain obligations in favor of the government, there's also a corresponding duty on the part of the government, which is the first duty, the most primary duty, to do certain things for the people. And the most important of it all is the government's authority must derive from the people. If the authority of the government is not derived from the people, then there's a fundamental flaw. The government has to be put in place by the people. In other words, the votes of the people must count in a democracy. And once that those votes count, then the corresponding duty of the people to the government will arise.
With the current situation and low literacy level in the country, national growth and development of the country's economy and people might be a distant call, as collective efforts of both the government and the citizenry are required. Experts suggest ways to turn the tide and awaken the spirits of responsibility and common knowledge.
I think what we should do is there should be mass education of the populace. Mass education. But even with, when you do mass education without addressing the poverty, the basic needs of the people, you discover that it goes to nowhere. Because a hungry stomach will sell its vote tomorrow.
We employ the National Orientation Agency to go all out and simplify the provision of our constitution to our people, especially